Going?
Feud.
We're playing the feud?
We're playing the feud. Hey everybody,
Fuck
it's
yeah.
Eight's turn.
The feud.
Boko and I's audio situation is still quite bad, so we're not doing Final Fantasy quite yet. Figure it out. I was in this screen trying to remember what we were doing. I think we're just crossing. We've determined that the blood on the hands was weird because there was only blood on one of the hands, but they swear.
Yeah, but the other guy said
hands.
blood on both hands.
They both. I think
Yeah.
all of them did. I suppose you might say that I didn't see exactly when the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. Didn't actually see anything. Cool. Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. Well, clearly not. Okay, let's just start pressing stuff.
Hold it!
Hold it!
Hold it.
No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record.
Oh, well, that's it. Other than this. Oh, no, I've sworn I'll stand by it. No matter blood both his hands.
He's defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw, but why?
Your reasoning.
I'm totally staring at
Dire.
him.
Why?
Like a dire
Hi,
wolf or a dire bat. One hand or two. The salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused's fingers.
Because you might say I didn't see the exact moment it transpired that matters. It does!
Hold it!
Hold it!
If it matters, if that's relevant.
Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well you know.
But... Right on that, we all go, no one else could have possibly done it. I was just trying to save us all some time.
Oh, look at that. Confident evidence poking. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not?
Which is like $20,000.
Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? Hmm.
Well, that's not entirely, not what I was here before. It just started a little guinea turn when I backed the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. Yeah. I was going to win all back. There's a fixture this weekend, it's a sure thing.
A little guinea or 10.
I'm a banker. No bats and I will buy a little Spain money for the weekend. I think I remember you have more of your character you bargained for, sir.
The witness's scruples are not on trial here. Saying scruples in this voice is really good.
Very good, yeah.
Proceed to the next witness.
Is that really how it's supposed to work?
You can just say, now we're good.
Hold it!
Hold it! You definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands? Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGilded's gloves has any signs of blood on it.
What?
The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked on and saw Mr. McGilded sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves? That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see.
I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilded's gloved hands.
Wasn't blood on his hands? I mean, then he didn't do it.
Important indeed.
This must be significant somehow, I'm sure of it. Yeah. Oh, I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard the scream.
Hold it!
Hold it! You didn't see anything? Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir. I did. Very sorry about what I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab the man. Wouldn't you agree, sir?
I don't insinuating. I certainly wasn't making up stories.
Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir. Oh, it's nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London's streets, no? Oh, please. You didn't even see that? It was so cold that night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen solid. Sorry to say, sir.
It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights.
Beppo! Eh.
Beppo's so fucking fired, dude. I feel sorry for Beppo. He's still cold. He's been cold for like a day. How did that even happen to someone?
Hold it!
Hold it. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus?
That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Why were they sitting on the roof if it was so fiercely cold?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Was rather very question why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place.
I would also like to know that.
I don't know what this young fella why couldn't enter the cabin.
Oh? Why not?
It was locked from the inside. We tried knocking, no one answered the door.
It was locked?
That's right. It's public service purpose, to be safe. That's what I call fair play.
Winks.
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
I tell you, I wasn't looking down. I was glaring long and hard. As for something I gave absolute confidence. And it was everyone else since that happened. I wouldn't know.
Unequivocal, I would say.
I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? They might no. They would only be able to see one side of the cabin. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus.
And sit in the back seat.
Cabin through the skylight and the floor of the upper deck. Is that correct?
That's right, yes.
In that case...
Impressive that Beppo's breath is visible at room temperature.
Yeah,
I know, right? He's so cold
guy.
that his breath is still showing up.
There is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you.
What?
By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
I love how angry his objection is.
Objection! He's like appalled that you would even try.
Right.
I love Van Zieks.
I
What a
appreciate
guy.
that everybody has their own, like, style of text box, too.
It is really good. When we do like our excuse me. Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. I'm going to Russian for some reason. Play. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Well, no. His breath could be incredibly cold and it would still fog.
I just did it.
If it was much colder, I think, right?
Yeah, it made sense to me.
Well, because so it's your warm breath fog condenses, is what's
true.
happening. If it's yeah, if his breath was really cold condense the court air. Right?
That's true.
Should
that's
be
true.
able to.
I think so. Makes sense to me. If maybe it's just wicked humid
I'm-
in here.
I'm no
He's
breath
part dragon.
scientist.
Very well, everybody is in command. You all identify the area of this plot setting around the Omnibus. Where exactly the Omnibus is, yes, an exponential expansion of movement situated.
Jesus Christ. We're here. Take that.
Did you like that? Did you like that
Both
line,
rows
Raid?
of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel. Yeah, it was something. Whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here.
Wow.
I appreciate that everybody in his diagram has a top hat. That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one in which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Objection!
It's quite possible. Some phantom was sitting there. You Nibonese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity.
Eh?
While the real professor was on it, in a press corridor, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, Council. That is unless you able to put a name to this mysterious pastor to whom you allude.
No?
Can you, Mr. Murado?
No?
It starts with a
I honestly don't
W.
know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck?
I have no idea.
I mean, how many names do we have? It was...
I think we'd have to say no idea. Right?
Yeah, because like, it can't be any of these fools. We don't have anybody else. It's the only one could be... It could have been Magnus was in the seat opposite him, because if he... Okay, think of this. The way the blood was on the glove, right? Oh, and also he said that when he opened his eyes, he saw the guy across from him stabbed. Not the guy next to him. So I think Magnus was in that scene.
But that doesn't help us. Does it?
It does.
Well, it depends. We could say we
Because
have
they
an
both-
ink. Well, what?
Yeah.
No. Let me rephrase. If they're asking right now about who the phantom passenger is, we have no idea. But if they're asking specifically about who was in the other state, then could be the answer is Magnus.
Yeah, because it says who was in.
Is what I was
who
trying to
in
say.
the other seat, which was out of sight.
Well, then yeah, let's
Specific
go
person.
for it.
And yeah, I think it's Mr. McGilded. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. Oh boy.
You know what I'm going to do with this glance. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned.
That was not the leg Council. The defense is still named passenger in the other seat.
This could be it.
Oh, he's
this
getting
could be
pumped.
the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the Omnibus cabin that was obscured from vision was...
Take that!
Magnus
that.
McGilded.
The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. Mr. McGilded?
What are you talking about, Council? That's the name of the offender.
I'm aware.
Objection!
Yeah!
There? Yeah!
What is
Fuck
a
yeah!
man?
What is a man? A miserable little pile of objections.
This is the second glass he's broken in this courtroom. So
Yeah,
far
in different
today.
ways. I was not expecting to have multiple glass breaking animations. He either crushes it in his hand, or he what is a man's it into the
Into the
candelabra there, and it like explodes, which is wild because even though alcohol is flammable, I don't think
I'm
did
pretty
he
sure that's
vaporize.
wine. Is
Yeah,
wine
I mean, alcohol
extremely
is
flammable?
Extremely no, but it technically should burn if it has enough alcohol in it. But how did the fire reach it? Unless he like vaporized it with the force of his throw, and then
He threw it at
the
supersonic
fucking
speeds.
alcohol. Boy, they want to suck your blood. If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hollow chalice, do forgive the discourtesy.
What was it?
People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly.
What are you trying to say?
Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself may understand.
Okay.
When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side.
Yes.
Multiple witnesses have attested to this fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection! But that premise may be wrong.
What?
If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. The knife-
What inconsistency, Captain?
The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claim that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
But enough talk. Have at ya.
Starts
Pulls
sword
out his
fighting in the
sword.
middle of the courtroom.
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the glory remains.
Objection! The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
As the testimony remains unchanged.
Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
Also, I want to apologize. I'm pretty sure I was just full-on Russian voice for like the last 10 minutes.
It's fine.
It's so
Wait.
close to my bad Dracula voice that they just cross paths a lot. It's like every time I try to do a bad Irish accent, I drift into a bad Scottish accent, even though those are not the same.
Right, yeah. It just happens. We can't all be good at everything.
I'm Dracula. I'm Count Chocula.
It is me, Blair.
Bleh. I want to suck your blood. And, you know, the other vampire stuff. And who was this third party?
Obviously, the true culprit.
It's thrown in there.
Poor Beppa is still shivering.
Order, order, order. What exactly are you both saying?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection! But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces.
Yes. The top of the head were obscured by the roof, but now I can see the rest of them though.
It doesn't even look like he's wearing the same suit. Yes, that's right. Both gents were
It's not even
happy.
close.
How does do tend to notice such things, sir?
What particular styles of hat do the two gentlemen sport, Mr. Vest?
I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter.
The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in the cabin.
How can you be so sure?
One man Zieks can yell, Suka blah, rush me, comrade. I am a vampire.
Bleh.
Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would have undoubtedly offered to dispose the fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing even more preposterous explanation.
Wasn't he unconscious?
That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled.
Ah! He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the Omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Unless he was unconscious, which he said he was.
Order! There's clearly a simple solution to this problem.
Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand.
Well, what do you say, counsel?
The prosecution objects, my lord.
On what grounds?
As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police.
But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely?
Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out that the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act.
Counsel for defense, what is your opinion?
My lord, shall we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? Demand his testimony. What do you mean?
We have to, right?
Or what? Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand.
In that case, I'll not hear the opinion of the jury. Yes, sir. I need you to consider this.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Get the man out here, I say. It would be utterly illogical not to hear this testimony. I don't remember what her voice was. I just make it worse every time. When something needs to get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say. Oh yes, that would be lovely.
As the jury says the man must be heard.
Okay, good. Thanks.
I also change that guy's voice every time I speak as him. I just remember it sucked. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Well, we'll hear the defense testimony. But if so, the defendant will stand at once.
Is everyone else gonna still be on the stand, or is this a solo one?
There's just 4 fuckers up there.
Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear.
Let the proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the night?
I don't remember what his voice was either. To be sure, I have, my lord.
It was Cockney.
Yeah.
Now, two matters on which the court decides to hear from you. The first, it will not go to third party with you and Omnibus is prepared by defense. The second, if a real person was indeed better, why do you conceal the fact from police?
Again, no, it is not my nature to hide anything at all.
Just answer the questions, please.
The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell you so, or keep my mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGilded? The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other men, there was another passenger.
True.
Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You... what?
Josh's judge says he's seconds away from having a stroke.
A little bit.
Thanks. That's what. Listen, I listened to it back on the stream just now, and it sounded amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. It's just like a. It's just that. No, Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can save you now.
I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zieks. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do behave in a good reason, I assure you.
Which was?
Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and not in any way involved, you see.
What?
If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. I have an idea who it might be.
I don't want a young daughter with me, see?
That, I don't know.
You don't know.
Aye, well, the white team just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Bang! What the fuck? Ah, fire! There's a fire! Look, someone's trying to get away! After them, it's no use! I can't see through all the smoke! What is going on?
Be careful, Mr. Naruto. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus.
He's gonna take the omnibus away?
Ain't let go on a mercy recess. Bang his order vendors incarcerated and clear the courtroom.
Dude, I can't believe Guy Fawkes attacked. The gunpowder plot.
We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Are we gonna get a chance to investigate now? Figure out what the fuck is going on?
I will find who disrupted my court, and I will suck their blood.
Bleh.
Bleh! Bleh! My name is Van Zieks, and I am from Transylvania.
18th February, 12:52 p.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. What on earth just happened in there?
Mr. Naruto, I've managed to find out what happened.
Mr. Sato.
I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke.
A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use.
They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before too long.
But who would have done something like that?
Police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently.
Flee the courtroom? Why?
Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear.
A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about?
My thoughts exactly.
So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There's so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here.
I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions. Along with the young girl.
Who is she, I wonder? And why was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself?
There's another matter that's troubling me.
What's that?
The 20 pence.
Hmm? Oh,
That would be enough for 5 passengers.
yeah. But Beppo was overcharging them.
According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo. He took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems like there are in fact 5 passengers. Which means the figures don't seem to add up again.
She's right. That is strange. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away.
Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial.
We'll know soon enough, Mr. Sato.
Yes.
February, 1 p.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Oh. Okay, so it's not who I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, who did you think it was gonna be? I didn't have eyes on anybody.
I thought maybe it was going to be Iris.
It was gonna be...
This is a different person. This isn't that.
You mean the ballet lady, maybe? Is that who you mean?
I thought it was going to be the Iris Wilson. Holmes's sidekick, the like young girl character we haven't technically met yet, but she's on the art.
You thought it was someone that we haven't seen. I see.
Yes.
I see.
Which, to be fair, it is someone that we haven't seen. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look, she must have been the one who caused the disturbance before.
Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. How is roll my Zieks?
My lord.
I believe you understand Mr. Foster's broken field proceedings earlier.
It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army.
Good gracious, the army! What in the devil's name?
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught.
You know, if she just left without the smoke grenade, she probably would have been able to leave.
She could have just walked away like a normal person, but instead she threw a fucking smoke grenade and caused a massive panic, and now occupies the stand.
Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom?
He's mad, so it's getting worse. The playback on that was really good too, because I peaked my mic again, so it just devolved into nothing.
I think perhaps I ought to explain here. Why is it this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that? It's all tied up with the events of that night, so it is.
Well, Mr. McGilded, give your testimony. You explain to the court exactly how the young woman is involved in the case.
What did happen that night? And it's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. Have we ever once in these games gone into a case where the fucking defendant told us what the fuck was going on?
No.
They always lie for some reason.
Never. They always lie about something stupid. They'll be like, oh, I don't even know what happened. And then they'll be like later, like, okay, yeah, I was there at the scene. Okay, yeah, I was there at the hot dog stand. Listen, I was stealing packs of hot dogs. It's like, dude, you could have just, I don't care. Just tell me that you're doing that.
It's better than a murder charge, my man. Ron kinda told the truth.
Ron kinda told the truth. A little bit.
That's fair, but
he was just unhelpful.
Didn't believe him.
Well, he was also just kind of sucked the whole time.
True. The young girl.
He didn't offer anything useful. He
No
also
question.
forgot all about going to the CEO's office and everything. Or thought it wasn't relevant, I guess?
No, I think he just didn't tell us in the first place because it would have been like they said in the first place, it would have been a good alibi if he was just somewhere else, provably.
Ah, that's right.
On the note in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. And begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fast start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me, and I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding away self-away. At what point did you notice the fella you put back up was dead?
I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the notification, this young girl was riding deep on in the omnibus, is that correct?
'Tis exactly as the defense counsel said. This last was a fifth passenger, my lord.
Great thing is when I'm doing the judge, I can just misread every line. It doesn't matter.
Hey, well,
It just has to be close.
let's find out what the damage witness is. Are you ready, counsel?
Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start.
And Larry in 1-1 Tech said 100% true statements. Ooh, that was cool.
On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Hold it!
Why? Were
And
you
when you
sleepy?
first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty, and there was no one on the roof deck either.
You were the first passenger. Yeah.
Oh, and that's why I took the backside as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means, 'tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. Then begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair stop.
What is up, Agora?
There's a loud thud, you say, and a scream. Oh, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor, having been stabbed? Well, now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor. You didn't see anyone? But at that same moment, you did hear a scream.
Ah, from the seats above on the roof deck, I presume.
Oh, above me, no, my lord. It was from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the Deborah saw before my eyes.
He was like in the seat, right?
Yeah. So I sat him up in the seat across from me, yeah. You sat him up? The victim, you mean? That I did, on the seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you?
I would, actually.
I would, just common courtesy, so it is.
I find that a little hard to believe.
Alright, Lord Van Zieks, now how would that be?
You wake to find the man laying dead at your feet in the carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is.
Alright.
Well,
Well, now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business.
I've heard of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest.
Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them. Some would even rather see me dead. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble. Are you suggesting you were just gonna leave the man there? Heavens alive, no, I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only, I had in mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. Doesn't wherefore also mean why?
I mean, maybe. Kind of.
The whys and wherefores?
Wherefore
Why you are?
art thou?
There was some.
No,
some
that means where, doesn't it? Basically.
I thought wherefore meant why, because I once thought wherefore meant where, but I feel like I remember it meaning why actually.
Well, then how would wherefore art thou make sense? Why art thou?
Or for what reason?
Oh, wait, maybe.
Wherefore means
For what reason?
Yeah.
Wherefore art thou? Huh.
Like, yeah, that's actually the context in which I remember it. Is like, he's like, why are you Juliet? Or as in, like, why are you from the other family that I'm not allowed to date because, you know, feud. That's the context I actually remember learning that I was wrong about that in. Weird. Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else.
Also, it was Juliet who said that about Romeo.
Ah, right.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Yeah, you're right.
I always thought she was saying, yo, where that bitch at, though?
Where he go? That way scream I have, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? No. Yes, the scream he says he heard at the same time is the thud of the victim collapsing. I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless me soul, what did I find?
Hold it!
Hold it! I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing. 'Tis a queer thing, the wee scream I had as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. Oh, she was hiding in the,
In the seat. That's what I said.
Under your backside?
You
No,
did you not get what I
meant
meant by that earlier?
No. I found there was a wee cubby hole there for storage.
I said so she was in the seat, and then you said like, yeah, he was in the seat.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you were thinking that I was talking about in the seat as in sitting in the seat. I meant in the seat.
Right.
Mr. Naruto, we can examine the
I'm actually gonna check out something really quick.
Sure.
I remember something possibly weird.
Yeah, I don't remember what was in there other than like a bag for tools.
Can't find anything out of
It's
place.
the other one.
Okay, yeah, I
The
was
other
just
seat.
double check. Oh, how long has that blood stain been on the floor? Did we even notice that
I think it's been there the whole. I don't think so.
That's blood, isn't it?
Is something wrong?
No, it's just, well, this blood stain is so obvious, that's all. And yet Van Zieks has made no mention of it.
I suppose that does seem a little strange.
Why do I have such a bad feeling about this?
It feels like it wasn't there before.
Yeah.
Like they added it.
Because, like, I feel like I would have noticed.
I'm pretty sure, because especially when we went to pull the handle.
Did somebody add it after the smoke bomb?
Yeah,
He has a handle.
it must have been.
And all the stuff that was
There
in
was
here is
something
cleared out.
in there.
There was stuff
All the
in
stuff
here.
in there's gone. There was stuff
There's
in
a
there.
storage compartment,
I
but
remember
there's
there
nothing
being
in here.
stuff in there.
It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is.
There was shit in there. Because
Yeah.
I remember thinking before, I was like, it's weird that someone managed to fit in there. Because I thought someone was hiding in there, but there's a bunch of shit in there, like tools and stuff.
Huh.
Also, that blood is clearly a different color than the blood on the seat.
Yeah.
It's like way
It-
fresher.
Okay, yeah, Mulligan is saying it was not there before. I'm like, are we crazy? There's no fucking way I missed a huge
No,
stain on
there's
the
no
floor.
way. Well, yeah, and it's just you can tell it's not old enough.
Yeah.
I already read this.
Okay. Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence.
This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside.
Wow, so you could technically completely miss that stuff if you didn't check it the first time, I guess? Because I don't think you had to, like, examine it at any point. I just do every time we get new evidence because I want to know the sequence. That's when I found her. There was a child in there all curled up in a ball, hiding a wee self away.
Hold it!
Hold it. You say she was hiding herself. Oh, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball when her eyes met. Well, my heart nearly started beating in my chest. Ugh, you're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under there, and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin wag at her. The seat opposite? That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there.
You led the young girl next to a corpse, sir.
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fellow's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through his skylight, he must have seen this young girl and a gentleman with a knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witness did not, in fact, see you at all, Mr. McGilded. They saw a 15-year-old girl street urchin and thought it was you.
Yeah,
What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason?
Aye, my lord.
I forgot to do a British accent.
It was,
during
as
that
I
time.
think everyone understands now, sat in the back of the carriage out of sight.
Certainly plausible. And if any somewhat diminutive in stature. And readily confused perhaps with this young girl.
After that, of course. No. With the scream
No.
from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses.
Thank you, I've heard enough. Yes, that's explained all clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl?
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns a crust among the large crowds, relieving people their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. What?
The girl here? A petty thief?
Bruh.
Arrest her.
Van Zieks is
In
really
the
tall.
stockades! Order, order!
Yeah, he is.
Is it true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will ask another question?
Ah!
Duh!
She just had a gun.
How dare you? What is the meaning of this?
She's gone.
The girl, she's gone.
Open your eyes.
Open.
I'm over here. Why?
Good gracious, how?
What was the point
What
of
would
that
you do
little
anyway?
sidestep? I know what you don't are thinking. Grown-ups is all the same. Just dirty little dipper, you say. Slipped up and got caught in the jar. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the jet. Go on, that's what's in your heads, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to
Renoski's like,
determine
I
the
have
truth,
no
not
idea
guess."
what this girl is saying.
Bah!
Why does she have so many smoke grenades?
Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, all
And
right?
a gun.
And maybe
that
not in your
shoots
eyes,
smoke
but I got pride
grenades.
in what I do. Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among your weapon for thugs. Oh, Ace. Yeah, this was in a bag I lifted the other day down where they keep the four-wheel drags. It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink best.
And then the judge is just like,
Yeah, bailiff, go ahead and just take that away from her quick. Alright, good.
The smoke
But
bomb
he
is why I
won't,
thought
will
it was
he?
Iris, by the way, and now after seeing it, I'm pretty sure that's Iris's smoke bomb gun. It's got like the... it's
these
got the
words
same
mean
sort of-
nothing to me.
So here's my explanation. Iris is a flower name, and it has a thing of a flower on it, right? And also a lot of Sherlock's Herlock stuff had a lot of similar.
Well, I'm
like,
Sherlock's
designs.
Holmes.
A lot of Herlock's
Oh,
Holmes.
do not wave at the my defection yet.
So, you admit that you relied in the Omnibus on the night in question.
Tis alright, I actually can tell them the truth now.
Apparently they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
change her name
It's just like the Irish
from the Fran
said.
translation. Oh, he's been Irish this whole time.
Oh, okay. Well, I can do something about that. You know, McGilded is an Irish-sounding name. I should have known.
And he does vaguely look like a leprechaun.
That's true.
Except, like, a purple leprechaun instead of a green one.
What except this girl, Miss G on the front, and evaluate and certificate with the case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. Do not shoot me with a smoke gun. We will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus or not in question.
All right. If I have to, you do. That's
You
how the
do.
court works.
You literally do. This is a court. I'll arrest you.
What the girl saw.
You literally
Someone's
admitted
got
to
Carriage
stealing
body
things
hooked
in
up
front
the
of me.
horses, just like always. Oh, okay. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I tell you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then after a while, I heard this loud bang. Nearly jumped out my skin, I did. And the scream just came out. It's because of that this swell found me. It did help me get away, mind. A bang.
Man, just
Yes, he let you
indecipherable what
go.
she's saying.
I well understand what you let this free urchin go, Mr. McGilded.
Out to simplicity self, my lord. Should I try to make him Irish now?
Oh, 'tis simplicity itself,
To
my lord.
simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How?
Oh yeah, this works for him.
As I'm sure I said before, sir.
That also explains his mannerisms of saying like ting and shit.
Yeah.
On top of
I
the
thought he was just cocky.
Cockney.
Yeah. Well, I was sitting right on top
No,
of the
Irish.
place where he was hiding himself.
Were you always Irish?
Now hold on.
Wait a second.
The judge like ruffles through his papers. The only thing he has written down is the word Cockney circled 3 times. Top of the morning to you laddies.
All they could demonstrate in the school for.
This is where I was sat that night. My Irish isn't very
And
good,
the
I'm sorry.
cubbyhole. That's fine. And the cubbyhole which you have spoken is underneath the seat, I presume. Yes, it does appear to be large enough to accommodate someone of the stature.
Oh, it is, but of course the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I parked myself on the seat for the duration. God, my Irish is so bad. So you see, that's why I let the lass bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent.
Even though you must have realized your action was not in your own business before you went in.
Not at all, me lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness. What a perfect gentleman.
My lord! This is, for example, of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir.
Hey, we win. That's how this works, right? Oh. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Okay, now we
I
win.
feel like this is gonna be one of those ones where we have to go, wait a second, I don't think this is right.
Fuck.
Thanks alive. All these members of the day consent to and their leading officers are not guilty.
Mr. Narado, this... well, it must mean
It must mean what?
that we're victorious.
We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
Yeah!
Oh! Yeah! Holy shit! That's what you meant by the leg thing that you wouldn't tell me about.
Yeah. He's
Now,
so mad,
why
he just
on earth?
smacks his leg on the
No,
table.
now why? Now Van Zieks, you fucking weird ass vampire dumbass. Why on earth? Why on earth? Yeah, they said she was 15 mile gay. Why on earth would this be what you do? Amazing.
He's upset.
If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray, do forgive the discourtesy.
What?
I like how he realizes what he's doing is rude, but he doesn't stop it ever. He just does it, and then says, don't mind me. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Their evidence and reasoning should be paramount. Emotion rules the day.
Emotion?
The witness's latest statement gives us clear insight to his true nature.
What do you mean, his true nature?
You really think Scotland Yard... Fuck, I went Russian again. No, you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? Glad. After the incident, the Omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in the investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings.
Yes, I know.
It's noted in black and white here in the police report.
Good lord!
The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilded's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat.
What? I mean, I knew that.
Well, we knew that, but Inosuke is dumb.
Order! Order!
I don't mind saying Ordar, which I don't understand, but sure.
Right. Order.
How other deeds could possibly have been affected, counsel?
Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning... Oh, that's a good glare.
Yeah.
The compartment under the seat was not empty. Yo, is Van Zieks just like the best prosecutor? He might be. Like, all his shit's really good, huh?
Yeah.
He's really strong, huh? They really need to nerf him in the next patch. Well, my Nepalese friend.
Hmm? Me?
Now that's a boot. Listen, Mulligan, can we get a mod to ban Mulligan real quick? Time him out. You know what? I can do it. I'm a mod.
Oh no.
Quick.
Oh no.
Oh no. I actually don't know how to get. Hang on. So I for some reason I decided to jokingly actually click on Mulligan's name, and then I couldn't get rid of the box for a second. I was like, wait, no.
Meanwhile, I can't get the box to show up.
Really?
Yeah, I'm having problems with
I could.
Streamlabs. It doesn't like me. Oh, whatever.
Oh no. Then the carriage was submitted as evidence. Doubtless you'd examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be? Yeah, it was full of shit.
Young gentleman will be able to clear himself in a jiffy. Sorry?
Nah, it was full of shit.
Go ahead, tell the court now, fella. Now this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zieks.
It wasn't, though. Ryunosuke?
Well, Gabriel, he has something to say on the matter.
Ryunosuke?
How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? It wasn't empty.
It wasn't empty.
I
It
didn't
wasn't
look.
empty.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't look was there.
We did look.
Yeah.
It wasn't empty.
I really don't know
It was
if giving
full of
this
shit.
answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. But as far as I
Listen, we're
remember,
here to
it
find the
was-
truth, Ryunosuke.
When I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes.
What is your counsel?
Oh, Ara be whist. What are you saying now, you daft doe? I thought you were on my side here.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Irish.
Yeah.
You daft jaw. What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? Because I'm here to find the truth.
As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible.
True. Interesting.
'Tis not altogether pleasing, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing me best interests here, lad. Now then.
Yeah, they should have said it, had him say me more.
A fella's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest now to admit that you might have been mistaken?
No, fuck you.
Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here?
I'd like to join you in on this matter, I think.
The compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The Guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Bet there wasn't that irresponsible. Money-lending fleecer and the pig person lying.
Oh, he's back to guilty. Dude, can they not just go neutral ever again? This is really funny.
Ah! I can't believe I was nearly taken in. That stinking ritual always stinkers. Nothing but cowards that lock them.
True, though.
It's a trick. Of course it's a trick.
Man, the jury sucks. Just like in real life.
Quite so. I must concur here.
I like the voice you do for her. Quite so.
With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yes,
You've
but
said
time
that
a
every
different
time!
truth, it seems.
Oh, the bow. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate.
You counsel, I have eyes and I can see that. But before we proceed any further, there's a matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please.
Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Cross-examination. What the girl saw. So I snuck inside the carriage boy, hooked up the horses just like always. Oh, okay, hold on. I would actually like to go back and hold it. So you were
What'd you do with all the shit that was in there?
You were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run? Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a joey to make a few bob, eh? There's a rum idea in it. Especially
What?
if there's no point spending money to make money. That actually makes sense.
Counsel, may I remind you of the scales of petty thief? Kindly refrain from entering their tactics.
Well, it does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabman testified. And 1 little scapegrace riding for free. Great conk of a driver always goes some grum before his last run, see? So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right?
But your hiding place is a storage compartment. Full of equipment for the coach. No.
Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much.
And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who arrived first at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia.
Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all the stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you.
It seems we reached the end of that long inquiry. Continue.
Right, what's time nothing?
Hold it!
Hold it! Didn't you say you
Further
stole that
to
gun
a
that
bat,
night?
did
A
suck
waste
your
of time.
blood.
Why is that?
I am Count
Well,
Dracula.
most nights I'm on my own.
I am Count Dracula.
In the God permit at least some of the time.
What is this? Eclipse.
I beg your pardon. Did you say God permit?
Oh yeah, well that's what we can't call it. You'd say the Omnibus, I suppose. The point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one on it in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it, only that night. This code was set on my seat from the start. And he didn't budge a whole way, did he? Not even 1 inch. I was totally stuck.
You mean to tell us you were present in the carriage all the way, huh? You were under the seat the entire time while Victim floated in the unclosed cabin?
Yeah. Right, mister? To be sure, I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on and find a child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. I tell you, can't see a blind thing now, and face is pitch.
Hold it!
Hold it! So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all. Not a job most days. I push the cushion open with my head and look out the crack. And I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. Don't mean I can't have a look. See, I got undying as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, passengers playing himself as opposite. For some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head. And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places, feels too much like being thrown into the clink. But it's the only good place to hide in them carriages, so it's Obson's choice. Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then?
Why does she just stick to a fucking
judging from her demeanor.
English?
So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to just stick it out under there, nothing else for it. After a while, I hear this loud bang on the screen.
Hold it!
Hold it! When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose, but I don't remember so well. Point is, made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily. That's right. And then I felt pushing over my head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes.
Or not. It would equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not?
Well, did you see what happened at the crucial moment?
No, I fucking didn't. Yeah, I saw it.
You fucking what with the scaring the kitty?
Saw what? Sorry, I needed
Steven?
a drink. Talking constantly has got me fucked up.
It's alright, I'm just kind of murmuring to myself in fake Dracula accent always now.
And the quick put.
Well,
What the fuck? She possessed him for.
What? I pushed up the cushion and the quick butchers.
I pushed up the cushion out of quick butchers where I had a chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke falling on the floor and seat opposite.
That matches Mr. McGilded's account.
But then the fella suddenly turns and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should know to risk looking. Because of that, this swell found me. He did help me get away, mind. How? And when Mr. McGilded discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. I was scared stiff I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on my seat roll. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, this bloke had a knife in his guts, and he was still bleeding. And the carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me. Ugh.
How awful.
Both me hands got covered in blood, made me feel sick as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. Why was it locked now?
The carriage?
Yeah, so if Mr. McGilded was asleep, which, I mean, at this point, who knows, because he's lying about something, then
Yeah.
why did Mr. Mason
Why
get
was
in
the
and then
cabin
fucking lock it?
Yeah.
Or whoever got in after them stabbed him and then left, I guess. Well, no, he couldn't have left because the cabin was locked. What the fuck?
Well, they could have unlocked the cabin and then
Well,
left.
yeah, I suppose. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and that. Then I heard something from above. Someone screamed.
There's a bit of us on the roof deck, won't we, you?
Well, I didn't want no one see my face, so I didn't look up. And the horses were drawn up smartish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." The fake Irish I just did just now of her doing an Irish accent is, I think, better than the one I've been doing.
All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent.
For one brief shining moment, yes.
It's clear that they're all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we could clinch the verdict we want.
Yes, I think you're right, and I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Well, I pressed all the testimony, so now we need to find a lie. Step inside. His riddle was tame, got nothing to show for my troubles that night. So I can't see a blind thing. Wait, nothing to show for my troubles that night. Didn't you... I mean, I don't think we have this as evidence, is the problem.
Have what? Have what?
Button? Wait a minute.
The button?
Was that a button?
This
she
button?
had?
It shows she's spinning the button. I thought it was a coin, but it could be the button.
Yeah.
Because she's spinning the button, and the one in her fingers, you mean, right?
Yeah. I was hoping she'd be doing it in one of these poses so we could, like, look at it.
No, guess not.
What else would be... What else could it be? Stab the admin.
What are we trying to find again?
Just something wrong with our testimony. I pressed everything and it didn't give us new evidence, so one of these has to be a lie. Like a lie we can prove is a lie. And McGilded didn't react to any of them, so it's not one of those either. Excuse me.
What are his statements again?
Hold it!
So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all. There it is. Now it looks like a coin, right? Because it's ridged on the side.
Yeah, it looks
It's hard to tell. And it clings like a coin. Could be a metal button, I suppose. Seems unlikely, though.
Well, no.
Oh!
That didn't happen before. Hey, what up?
Excuse me.
Well,
Excuse me.
now.
Is something wrong, Mr.
Hey, what's up?
McGilded?
What's funny over there, funny man?
Hey, well, I do apologize. Was there something to matter, Counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no, 'twas nothing important. I was feeling bad for this poor lass, is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was. I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Aye, and I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. No, I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade? Did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. But Choppers, there's no need to tell the whole world to me foibles here to just scalp.
Bakora Bajabbers.
Bagarbles.
Bagarbles. He's like 2 seconds away from reciting all of the Wabberjock. Wabberjock. Wabberjocky.
Wabberjack.
Jock? Wabberjock.
All of the
Hang on,
Wabberjack.
the Shutterwalk. Oh, the entire Wobster Jack. Hang on a second, I need to... I typed robbery jock, which... Oh no.
Babadook? Is that
Hang
the
on.
one? No.
The Babadook.
The
Jabberwocky,
we
there
go.
it is.
We got there.
I'm like, my brain knew what the word was, but refused to like say it.
And I was just saying the Skyrim item.
I know, right? That didn't help.
I know.
Twas brillig in the slidey
It's not, that I,
toes.
okay, it's not that I don't listen to you. I literally can't hear you with these headphones on.
My brain was trying to say Jabberwock desperately, and it just kept getting caught on Wabberjack, which is the Skyrim item, and then Shutterwalk, which is a Hearthstone card, and then I typed robbery jock into the search engine.
And then I said
which is
Babadook,
nothing.
which was also nothing.
My brain only knows Shutterwalk. See, that's what I'm saying, Mola guy. Because it's like Wabberjack, Shutterwalk, and Jabberwock are all... Because that's the thing, the poem's called Jabberwocky, but the thing in the poem is the Jabberwock. There's no Y. And the frumiest Bandersnatch. What a pity. If only Mrs. Strahd had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue.
Yes. What should we make of that last statement of hers? It's profoundly important.
Yeah.
My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important.
Probably important, but all she said, well, you heard nothing.
Yes, which is the profoundly important point, because we can prove that she did. I'm almost sure of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm almost sure I understand the inner workings of your Eastern mind, Council. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you also plant your phone with that money while picking out that statement, please.
What, Supermate? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right, insult the judge. Always a good move. Struck me as to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring. Wrong. We have proof that noise happened, right?
I thought so.
I mean, let's just press it and see what happens. Hold it! So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time since the moment you hid yourself? No exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have a butcher's to see what was what. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, I got my head down so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah. Would you Adam and Eve it, eh? What a mug. What? So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there
Adam
as
and
soon as I
Eve
heard
is
him
really
leave,
good.
See? But would he? Not likely. Even though he stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay and put a listen to him driving his pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was.
Wait, how did Mason get on if
Yeah, the
she
door
never heard the door open?
Yeah. Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? Doesn't add up.
Yes, it doesn't add up. Hold
Mr.
on a
Strahd,
second.
What you have just told
Hold
the
on a
court
second.
is clearly at odds with the facts. Ah,
At all? Why you so, man?
absolutely.
It seems my learned Nepalese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared.
So Van Zieks realized it too.
I realize everything in this courtroom. I have eyes and ears everywhere. A bat swoops out of the belfry.
Martin says that you both see a blame with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least.
Yes, my lord.
I expect you to demonstrate this alleged plot strictly to the court.
According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded snoring. But think, Ryunosuke, think! There's something else she should have heard. Show a person.
Person. Mason.
Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular
Mr.
sound that
Mason.
Miss Lestrade could not
The
have failed to
Mason.
hear on the night of the question. The sound very clearly
Think,
explained by the
Ryunosuke.
presence of the following person.
Think,
Take
Ryunosuke,
that.
think! Pointing to both sides of my head like Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Look at what this vampire needs to mimic a fraction of your power.
Frost Frog Mason?
Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim,
Oh.
Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus.
Order. It may your evening, Captain.
Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on when the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilded. That it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least not in plain sight. So you were, to all
Oh my
intents
God,
and
he is
purposes,
Susato
alone
Sam.
in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. And my Irish is always in danger of slipping into Jamaican for some reason.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? No, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't it? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Ah.
Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed.
What was that, Riggs?
Yes, he knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement.
Blah. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend.
What are you talking about?
You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more.
He's dead right. How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? That makes no sense whatsoever. And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that.
Uh-oh. She's
Oh, no.
ready. Granny, no!
Ah! She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she had some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars.
It's neither can.
Oh man, what am I doing for this guy?
I don't
I
know.
just like lost it.
Mr. Foreman,
I guess his voice is this now. I don't want to judge the girl just because she had some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars.
okay. This is going poorly for us suddenly. Ah!
Mr. Naruto, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty.
I know that.
5 out of 7, Machinima. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Minecraft potion drinking sound. Yes, very refreshing.
Ah!
This wine bottle is full of blood.
What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for? You useless Eastern Amadon. This is carnage. It's perfect.
Ah, he's doing this again.
Juror number 2 is the only one left.
Mr. Nardo, the way this is going.
I know. If we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilded's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Whirling his wine.
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case.
He was a lightweight. He just like drank one sip of wine and he's just like, "What are you talking about? You stupid piece of shit. I will suck your blood." He just tries to do the leg thing and he just falls over and he's just like laying on the ground going blood, blood.
Damn.
What are you saying?
Counsel? I'm sorry, sir? Whatever you mean.
Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to further my adjudication.
I didn't know what that first word meant. Prorogue? Prorogue? Prorogue?
I assume it was
Parage?
like, it means something like prologue.
Like stop? Yeah. Hang on one. No, I was trying to say something like
Prorogue.
stop.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
It is
sorry.
prorogue, and it's discontinue. No, I wasn't telling you to stop. I was saying
I
what
get
it might
now.
mean. It's to discontinue a session of Parliament without dissolving it. So it's like how they table things in American.
Well, it's like, we'll get
Parliament.
back to that later. Or maybe not.
And then they never do.
Explain yourself at once.
Then the accused boarded the omnibus that night in question. The victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand.
The victim's body was found inside the carriage.
If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? Does the bus have windows? It does.
Yes.
I don't know if they open though.
There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He was put there after
He was put there after he died? There's another entrance. He was in there already.
There's not another entrance.
Well,
we know that.
there's not another entrance. I mean, how do we know if it's the top one or the bottom one?
He was in there already. If he was in there,
No,
there's nowhere
he
else
could-
to hide him, is
I
the
f-
problem.
I feel like he must have been put there after he died, is the answer.
Yeah, because, like, he was in there already,
Right?
doesn't make any sense, because Mr. McGilded would have fucking known. Or, like, best case scenario, he could have been shoved under the box, but the pickpocket girl was in there. So he couldn't be in there, and there's nowhere else to hide him.
I mean, we got 5 hit markers here. Let's just go for the bomb one,
He was
I
put
think.
there after he died. Obviously, the victim must have been placed in the carriage after he was killed.
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that obviously in your last statement?
Hmm?
Well said, old man Zieks. That obviously is troubling me also.
No. That's really not the point. The point is that the victim must have been moved into the carriage afterwards.
Then answer me this. How could a cadaver have been placed inside a moving carriage?
Well, obviously, okay, so that was wrong.
I'd have to bet orders heavily for this irrelevant rambling.
You must learn to ramble more relevantly.
the penalty is evidently not heavy enough, judging from those nip in his eyes. So I ask you again. If this petty thief's words can be believed, I'll do something, blah blah blah. The blood, the sucking, the blah blah crucifix, the blah blah empire.
Okay, so Nova the Dizzy's rating, thank you. So I mean, he was
Hey,
in there,
Nova.
He can't have been in there
Welcome.
already because the only hiding place was occupied. Unless, I mean, McGilded could have been lying.
I'm totally staring,
and
aren't
also
I?
turned the gold to lie. Shadolfin is that followed, thank you.
It's the Team Beans raid.
What up,
it's
Team
here.
Beans, right?
It's them. The Team Beans.
I don't know, Josh. Another entrance, or he was already there.
I'm totally staring.
I just don't know how we're supposed to logic this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it feels like... Because, like, I feel like if we say he was in there already, they would just go like, no, he wasn't.
No,
They both said he wasn't in there.
No, he wasn't. You wait.
Is
a minute.
that... I'm gonna go another entrance.
Well,
I
this
feel
is
like
not
there's
a
some
door.
door or something. Are we sure it's not a door?
Yeah,
You-
yeah. Let's go in.
Malagai thinks that he was already in there. I mean, we've got enough hit markers that are probably fine. Or hit
'Cause
points.
I can't
HP.
click on any of these windows, so I don't.
It can't
totally
can't be
staring,
that
aren't
there was
I?
another entrance. How?
How possibly? Yeah.
He must have been in
I was
there
looking at
already.
it. Caleb Bender, thanks for following. He was in there already. He must have been.
He must have been. It has
Clearly,
to
he
have
was in
been.
there already from beforehand.
No, you're also wrong. Tell me, my learned friend. What was the function of that clearly in your last sentence? Oh no.
Oh, well. Nope. So it wasn't that. It's not the point. That's really not the point. The point is the victim must have been in the carriage beforehand.
Dang it. Malagai! I trusted you!
Well, clearly.
Alright, Steven, I'm sorry to do it, but I got a permaban Malagai for leading us astray in these most dire of times. Being a VIP won't save you now, Malagai.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
So I guess there must be another entrance, but fucking
It
where?
must be another ant. I don't know how we're supposed to know this though, because couldn't any of these have been, like, correct?
The door wasn't opened even once. The only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
And where is it, you dipshit? You dumb idiot fucking moron.
You are the stupidest motherfucker I have ever seen. And I was around for a penis. Fuck. I fucked up his name and my joke. It's been 2 years. Yeah, I forgive you, Malagai. I just don't know. I guess I thought Parent was supposed to be. He can't have been in there already because they said he
How
wasn't.
dare you?
So I guess I thought Parent was supposed to be. He can't have been in there because they said he wasn't in there.
Right.
And he can't have been put in there after he was dead because.
The door didn't open.
So he must have. The door didn't open, I guess.
But that's
I
a bit like
suppose?
saying the door couldn't open because the door didn't open. So like I don't know. Every once in a while, those
Yeah.
multiple choices aren't like as evident as the game thinks
Very
they are.
clear. Yeah, it happens with puzzles. You never know. Maybe it was very obvious to some other more enterprising detective. But regardless, that's why they give us that health bar. I
be wrong
wondered what new
sometimes.
fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. What if we said this option, and Van Zieks was like, tell me what was the point of whatever in your sentence?
Hmm.
But behold, the Omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other only has windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly be opened. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection. But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered.
The skylight?
The
Oh, really?
Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin.
Alright, Count Bro. The defense will identify the location for the court.
Must I? Are you sure?
Are you sure? Starts sweating
But I
nervously.
don't want to, is the thing.
Here's the omnibus and what the incident occurred. Well known this entrance by which you propose to enter the cabin.
It must be the skylight.
It has to be the skylight, yeah, because it can't be the fucking floor. And this doesn't open, it's a ladder. And the front part
Also,
doesn't open
Mulligan said,
because
"Oh
it's
right, the
shit."
skylight. I remember now." And Blood Depth said, "I called it." And then Mulligan said,
I
"I don't remember."
So
It's the skylight. I'm calling it.
Take that!
take that. The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight.
I say the skylight.
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However,
Objection. The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
yeah, but your brain is not wide enough to pass through. Shut up. So you claim. But you do have but do you have a shred of evidence to support your addled brain
I
theory?
have an idea. You know how that fool was missing a button?
Mhm.
What if there's a button up here?
We'll click on the skylight. Can we?
You can certainly see inside the carriage that is opening, that's for sure.
Can you look towards the skylight underneath the bench?
Like
That edge of the
inside.
skylight? I thought I saw like a hand. No. Just on the surface.
I'm pretty
Basically
sure
just
we've already
pan
done
a
this
little bit to
before,
the right.
It's not
Yeah,
good for
you
us.
have. Is that a handle?
That is a handle.
Hang on, go back. Yeah, right there.
Looks like a handle to me.
That's like a latch
Yeah,
right there. That's
like a-
clearly a latch. It opens.
it opens, yeah.
Can we go inside again? Can we see it from the inside?
Yeah, let's take a look. I was thinking maybe we'll be able to find like a button or something because he's missing a button on his shirt, but maybe that's not. Maybe he's just missing a button because he's poor.
This is poor, yeah. There's no hint from the inside, really, huh?
Oh, there is.
But that's definitely a latch on the outside. And you can see it's not flush,
yeah,
so it looks like it, like,
it opens.
you know,
It's quite a
goes
large
up.
skylight, isn't it?
Yes, quite
There doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. There does though. So I suppose
On
it
the
can't be
inside.
it can't be opened from inside the cabin. Okay.
I wish he would comment on that obvious latch on the outside.
Especially considering I clicked on it and everything.
Because it's like very obvious. That's what I wanted you to look at when you kept pan. You know, I was like, hold on a second. You said this in this guy. Well, also that said Phoenix Wright Omnibus on the back.
Did it?
Yeah.
Huh. What the fuck? That's so weird.
Ryunosuke sees that and goes, that's a good name, a strong name. My descendant shall have it.
That's so weird. Oh, hey, look, it's got Baker Street on it.
Oh, nice.
Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Oh, he fell from the roof. And he was already dead when he fell from the roof. But that...
So we were right about him being all moved inside after he was dead. They should have given it to us.
It was now very plain. As the only victim falls from the seat having been assaulted with a dagger.
Yes, it has, but... Would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise that the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact.
Well, gracious.
Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You are the stupidest motherfucker. You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin?
Fell is a wrong word.
That's simply impossible.
How can you be
Blank.
so sure?
Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony.
Well, yes, that's true, but when? The when is important. Might a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded?
What if he fell on the knife? Oh
To
no,
be
he
sure
fell on
now,
my
the
knife.
t-
Oh no.
The two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seemed to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were... Ah!
Ah, the late
They're
Team
back.
Beans.
Hold it.
And what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer?
You brought her, he said. You brought her.
Whoa.
What are you insinuating? What the fuck is this?
He was like doing like he was riding a horse.
I don't know.
that one was upsetting. I'll be honest. I've never seen a man turn sideways, maintain eye contact, and act as though he was riding a horse. And I never want to see it again.
What the fuck?
There's a flame with that way, so I'm going to give you a blinker in a minute.
I'll give you a shine in a minute,
Oh
he
no,
said.
he's
So
doing
will I.
it again!
Mr. Fairplay.
Excuse me, I'll sit the gentleman and well straight you back up.
And me, a very angry hatter.
Get him, halfway.
That's not so what we call private man guts. It's out of life with scandal. I protest, I'll protest in the strongest possible terms.
That's right, I'll protest too. And you rotten scoundrel. Oh, hello. Glad to see you two are back.
Order, order!
Would you say he's a Mad Hatter? You'll see the man turn sideways, bend over, and run.
And you'll like it.
I don't like how you phrased that, Blood Adept, and I think you knew I wouldn't like the way you phrased it.
And you'll
How
like
dare
it.
you at me?
You'll like it.
You'll like it
You'll
in
like it.
this household.
This is not what our witness is.
Sorry. I can only press so many buttons at once.
Ah, I see you're doing the angry face. I see.
Yeah!
All not permitted what an invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once.
Oh, we didn't call them. They just barged
They
in.
just showed up.
But it's beyond reasonable. It's outrageous.
It's very helpful, you know.
I actually don't know what's wrong with my phrasing. So I cannot make that mistake again. I think Blood Adept is fucking with me, but I don't have evidence. You win
Evidence
this
is everything in
round.
a court of law.
Everything. I need. But what was that? What was that word that Von Karma always used? Decisive? Was it decisive?
Decisive? I don't know. Something like that.
Decisive evidence?
Decisive.
I'm a literalist. A literalist, you say?
Good point.
Ahem.
Ahem.
my lord, if I may comment.
Go ahead, Lord Van Zieks.
It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witness.
I did no such thing.
My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the
No,
witnesses
no.
without
Mr.
proof.
McGilded did that. Accuse? I never intended to.
It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting.
Alright.
You proposed to this court.
Don't
I'm
worry
seeing
about it,
interpreters of my
Blood
phrase other than the first Western video. Unless someone does at least once before. Oh yeah, no problem. I just thought you were making like a joke.
Like an innuendo.
Like an innuendo. Inherendo. That's from Scrubs.
Good
You
job.
ever watch Scrubs?
Oh boy.
Steven?
Yeah. What's up?
What? I said, have you ever watched Scrubs? And you just said, oh boy.
Well, I thought you were gonna go on a bit.
Oh.
As I glanced
Oh,
at
I
the clock.
see. No, I was just...
Yes,
I was just gonna end... I was just gonna end with saying, have you ever watched Scrubs? Then I got confused because you said, oh boy. And I was like, wait, what's wrong with Scrubs? I was like, no one told me there's anything wrong with Scrubs.
No. Scrubs is
No,
fine.
I just like Todd
Scrubs
from
is
Scrubs.
Scrubs is fine. I thought you were gonna go on a tangent.
Well, now you've made
And
me go on
now
a
here
tangent
we are,
by
on a
expecting me
tangent.
to go... No, but this is your fault!
How dare you?
I think it was just the bend over part. Now listen, Blood Adept, I clearly read too much into it. It's just me and my horrible mind that is in the gutter, at all odds.
Crazy fucked up mind.
If I had been going to Bible study, this never would have happened. You proposed to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the Omnibus. You Josh's phrasing. Yeah, basically. And I think that's the reason I was uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable with the event of him doing it. It's because of the... You know what?
That's
Let's
what
just
he
move
does.
on. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is termed a baseless accusation.
I know I was rash to put this idea
Yeah,
forward without any actual evidence, but you
Tone.
can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify.
He needs to stop sticking the knife in there.
I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on that photo.
We have to say it's matter through now, one way or another. There's the fifth and if there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. Testify.
Oh my god, the chanting.
Testify. Testify. Testify.
Look, I just want to know why Jack the Ripper is a panel jurist. Don't we all? I like how you went angry at I emotes. But yeah, no, it was fine, Blood Adept. I essentially, I was initially saying that I didn't like that he was doing that, because it's like a weird motion. And then I thought, it looks ridiculous. And then I thought you were sort of following up on that. But you were just saying what I said, essentially.
You get
Once
your
you testify.
fucking Family Guy references out of here, Molokai.
It's a Family Guy reference?
I think so. There was the Booze song, which is still stuck in my head, by the way.
The what song?
Mr. Booze. No, okay.
Oh, B-double-O.
That's the one. Okay, so I was right about the reference Molokai was making.
What's happening, Mr. Naruto?
The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy.
Was Mr. Van Brent with the first? My lord. You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord.
I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is all I can do is keeping pushing forward. Witness
Oh.
testimony.
Testify. Yeah, this song.
Yeah.
Thanks, Blood Adept.
In my brain.
Linked it to me in the
Forever.
Discord.
Nice. It's originally from a movie called Robin and the Seven Hoods. Oh, I see.
Testify.
We were the only two people up on their roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that.
If anything happened while we were sitting, don't you think one of us or the other would have noticed?
Some Mega Man Battle Network translation shit.
In any case, neither of us knew the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill that man.
The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't
God, he
possibly
just
have opened
keeps doing it. I didn't like it the first time, and I don't like it now.
You was all sure the victim fell through the skylight. Where's your proof?
I will say it is intimidating, though.
Good
I would
point.
be intimidated in real life if someone did that. I would probably leave. I'd be like, you
"Oh,
win. Here's
alright,
my
whatever."
wallet. Here's my phone. You know what? I'm going to just put that out there. If you find me on the streets and want everything I have on my possession, pretend to ride a horse while staring me. Pretend to
stare me
ride a
dead in the
galloping
eye.
horse while staring me dead in the eyes, and I will give you everything that I own that's worth anything on my person. I will. It will happen.
I must say that on listening to his testimony, it's somewhat odd to imagine.
Boy's ready to tussle. Yeah, dude, it'll grow on you by the end of the case. Oh no. I don't want to ever get used to seeing that sight, but it
The
sounds
blue
like I might.
bastard.
No, I hate the blue bastard. You do not remember that one. No one remember this. You know what? You know what, Steven? Delete the VOD. We gotta take the whole stream down. I've revealed a weakness. We can't have that. We'll pretend it never came here. It's fine.
How either the witness could have performed a malevolent act on this rift act with the other nerves in forthwith. That's right, you see.
But Brendan, I'll tell you. Then logically, of course, the argument falls down to if the two of you were in collusion with one another.
Hmm.
What?
Eh?
According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings.
Well, I don't trust corpers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something
Who do
doesn't
you
feel
trust,
right
man?
here. Mine was going
Down
in
to
our
the
favor,
Abbey.
really. So why do I feel so uneasy?
How dare you, madam?
Hmm?
Comes over and over to you. Your cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. Cross-examination. Refuted the accusation. And we'll get to that probably
Next time.
Next time, yeah.
Whenever that is.
Whenever that is. Probably Thursday, but we'll see, I guess.
You would think it would be Thursday.
Conceivably, it could be Thursday.
It's very not impossible to be Thursday.
All right, well,
The stream.
thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for something. I don't know. Have a good night. Bye.
Goodbye.